Hey guys, what's up? There's Texan here. So I am going to be replacing my video card, my old R9 280 with this one, the R9 390 that I just got. The old one was an XFX 2, so I figured, you know what? I'll stay true to the brand. It never really failed me. And I really need to have an upgrade on my PC. It's been a year and a half, and the old one has 3 gigs, and this has 8 gigs of RAM. So let's get to it. I'm gonna open this one up and see what we got in the box. It doesn't want to leave the box. I'm out now. Okay, let's see what we got. Packaged pretty well. This is probably just protection right here. We got a warranty card. The actual video card is packaged right here in the middle, and it is a monster. I mean, it feels heavier than the card that I have in it right now. But this is it. And that's pretty much that comes with it. Now, cards of old that I've installed in the past had, of course, driver CDs. Now you have to pretty much go online to find that. Just see how massive that looks. It's pretty badass. Now it does have this protective covering over it. I'm going to leave that. Obviously, you should probably take that off. But just to make sure that it runs, I'm going to leave it on there. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to be installing it in my PC. So it's going to be kind of a how-to video. And of course, this thing that I just threw off was indeed the driver CD and a bunch of power cables, extra ones that I'm probably not going to be needing. But here's the driver CD right here from XFX. Now, of course, every PC is going to be slightly different. This one actually has some handy little doodads right here that allow me to get the side cover off pretty quickly. And of course, I drop it. And this one also does have a fan. Now, you have to disconnect that from its power source before you can take the entire thing off. So, side cover's gone. You pretty much get into the guts of the PC. It's nothing to it, really. This is the old video card, which, you know, I'm going to grab the new one here real quick. And you can see, obviously, you know, it's going to go in like this. But you can see it's roughly the same size, which is a good thing because it's a very, very tight fit in there. Now, before you start doing this, you know, obviously you have to unplug the computer. And what I also do and recommend is taking off your drivers. Even though in this case I probably could have left them on, I took them off just so I have like a clean install. So I'm not going to run into any weird problems down the line. So I'm going to unplug it right now. There's these tabs on the bottom of these that you have to undo. Which, you know, I think is kind of a design fault, really. I didn't build this PC myself. I got it from CyberPower, and they do a pretty good job building them. But anyway, so this is out. Now, in this case, I don't know if you can see it, but over here you got a set of screws that is holding this video card, this massive video card in. So you're going to have to undo that. Now, some PCs actually have tabs up here, so the only thing you really have to do is use or pull the tabs away so you can pull the card out. Now in my case, obviously, like I said, I'm going to have a screwdriver, which I got right here. And I'm going to take these screws out. There you go. I'm going to have to save those for later because the new card needs it too. There you go. Alright, so now comes the time that you pull the card out. It's fairly easy, you just pull out straight, it should come out. Sometimes they do have tabs over here, which in my case, again, you know, I don't know if you can see it, but there is a tab right there that you have to push in order to get this card out. So you would just support it a little with your hands, push that tab, and then you should be able to pull that card out fairly easily. There it goes. Now, it's a pretty massive card. Now, got some dust in it over the use. It's a year and a half. But all in all, you know, it hasn't failed me. I just needed to have a little bit more oomph for the upcoming games, for Star Wars, for instance, Battlefront. So I can run that on 1080p without any stuttering. Because this one, I did the beta, it ran fine, but sometimes it slowed down. So that's why I'm like, yeah, I really want to have that upgrade. Now my processor is a 4790K, which is good. My RAM over here is 16 gigs, so I'm good over there too. The only other thing that I really should refresh is this thing right down here, which is the hard drive. And if you actually saw the unboxing of this PC, this hard drive was actually sitting like all sideways because of the UPS 6-foot drop probably that this PC had to endure. There we go, this is the new card. Now like I said, that protective covering that's over it, I'm leaving it for now because I want to make sure that the card works before I do anything with it. Now the other thing that it also does have is a protective covering over here that I need to pry off. It's of course a contact between the video card and the motherboard. You see that just comes right off, and I'm probably going to reuse this on the old card. There's always a little risk involved when you do this kind of stuff. One of the things that you definitely want to make sure is that there's no static electricity in the air. You'll notice that when you're in the house you're getting zapped every single time. That is probably not the time to be doing this, because electric discharges on your motherboard or on any of these kind of things is definitely a bad thing. Okay. Practice makes perfect, right? Protective coverings everywhere, so that needs to come off as well. Alright. Here we go. There you go, click, video card is in. Fairly easy. It just takes a little bit of fiddling. Now obviously if you're making a video and trying to put that card in, your mind is not 100% putting in the card, but it is what it is. So I got that back in. Now I'm going to have to put the power plugs back, which are pretty much the same power plugs that I've been using. Now what I could have done, of course, is put these suckers in before I put the card in, but that would have been too pro. And here are the two screws that I saved. Now this card is so heavy that it's actually kind of coming down, so you want to prop it up so it's as straight as possible before you put these screws in. I'm right-handed, so doing this left-handed is an adventure. That is tabbed back in there. So okay, video card is in. So at this point in time you want to make sure that the connections are good, that you didn't forget anything, which, you know, it's hard to forget something. The easiest thing next to putting in some extra RAM is putting in a video card. Alright, so I'm not going to button this thing up because if there's an issue with this card, I don't want to have to take the side panel off and all that mumbo jumbo. So I'm going to go ahead and put this thing back together and we'll see if she runs. Now this is always the moment of truth. I'm going to flip the switch in the power supply back here. And we're going to turn it on. Uh-oh. Kidding. That stuff always happens. Monitor on. Well, that's good. Winning. I'm gonna fast forward this. Your device is ready to use. Yeah, I don't think so. Alrighty, so at this point in time I'm going to go on the AMD website and find the latest drivers, which I will not bore you with. So I've downloaded the driver, which is the latest driver that is the non-beta. There's also a beta driver out there. I just don't want to run that right now. You have two options. You can go express or custom for this AMD card. I always go custom because the one thing that I do not want on my video cards is that overlay that they have that constantly loads when you load into a game, and that's this AMD Gaming Evolved app. There's no reason to have that unless you like that kind of stuff. So I'm getting rid of that, and then it's as simple as hitting next, hit accept, and it's going to install the driver and then reboot the PC afterwards. So here we go, the driver is installed at this point. So we're going to go ahead and click finish, and we need a system reboot, which is what we will be doing. So we're back in. Let me open up AMD Control Center, which is of course going to take a while because the computer is still trying to boot up. Here we go. Click information, hardware. There we go. AMD Radeon R9 390. Freaking awesome. With 8 gigs of freaking RAM. Alright, so I think my card works. I'm gonna peel off that protective covering. Obviously, I'm gonna shut the PC down before I do so, because I do not like to mess with PCs when they are on. And I'm gonna put the side cover also back on. I'm not gonna show you guys that. So here we go, let's take this protective covering off. What this covering is doing is pretty much protecting the card from all kinds of scratches, but it also covers up a bunch of holes. So if you for some odd reason decide to forget to take the covering off, you can bet on it that your card is going to overheat. And if it overheats, your card's probably going to be toast. And you don't want that. This bottom one is a little bit easier. Actually, I take that back. There's some thin strips that I bet I could break, and I have to take the card out and get them all off. What? Like. We are good to go. There you go. Gone. Well, I'm gonna plug this baby back in, start the computer back up, and see if I can get in Fallout. Get your camera shy, aren't you, computer? This stuff always, First time that happened, I was like, what? But it's just something that this thing does. Whenever it loses power, you unplug it. Alright, so when I'm back, I'm gonna show you guys if I can get in game. Alright guys, this is the moment of truth. Is it going to run or not? Because a little bit of background. It says that I played for 7 hours, which actually is only 3. The other 4 have been other crap, trying to get it to work. Constantly crashed. I had a fix, played for 3 hours the next day. It was back to its regular tricks, just kicking me out any time that I tried to load the game, play for like 10 seconds, and then it would reboot my PC. So it's part of the reason why I bought this new video card, but without further ado, let's see if it actually made a difference. Regardless, I'm going to be happy with it because it's going to be running Battlefront Star Wars like a boss. Fallout 4 will now detect your graphics settings, and it's set for Ultra. My previous card did that as well. So I'm gonna go ahead, okay, hit play. Get some sound going. Actually, sound would work if I had it plugged in. Alrighty, sound. We do have, there's any button to start. Well, it saved my save games. I actually deinstalled this, so unless they're corrupted, which is a possibility, we're gonna go ahead and say load, Commonwealth. Here we go, guys. Load this game. So yeah guys, that's how you install a video card in your PC. Unfortunately it didn't make any difference with Fallout. It's still crashing like a boss, and I'm pretty much giving up at this point in time. It's done. But for Star Wars Battlefront, it's going to be freaking epic. I'm not going to have any problems with my FPS whatsoever. So, win for that. Hope you guys take care. Hope you liked this little video, and I'll see you on the flip side.